Recently, my friend Brent Parker and I made the drive to Canton, Ohio to be present for the enshrinement ceremony for Peyton Manning into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. It was a fun weekend. It was certainly one of those bucket list experiences that we decided to do 5 years ago. 5 years ago, when Peyton retired, Brent and I said, we're going to his enshrinement into the Hall of Fame. And it was worth it. It's a little crazy. We drove about 16 to 17 hours total for a 10-minute speech and a tour through the Hall of Fame. You know, sports are something I enjoy. And I'm sure you have hobbies and things that you like too. And when we made the decision to make that trip, it wasn't really a commitment to Peyton as much as it was a commitment to our friendship, mine and Brent's. You know, you have things you enjoy, I have things I enjoy. And I want to talk to you about how they fit within the context of our faith. I mentioned it earlier, I really like sports. I like Tennessee football. I also enjoy hunting, fishing. There's a lot in this life that gives me pleasure and happiness. And for a big segment of my Christian life, there was a bit of a tension with that. I had this idea that my life was categorized. These are spiritual things over here in this category, and then there's the non-spiritual stuff over in this category. And unfortunately, sports and hunting and maybe shopping for you, whatever your hobbies and enjoyments are, those things, they fit in the unspiritual side. And I had this idea, really it was a misnomer, it wasn't accurate, that the only way I could really be deeply devoted to the Lord and deeply connected to the Lord was to become less and less engaged with and attached to these non-spiritual elements and delights in my life, and to just become overly spiritual. And it created a sense of guilt, a sense of personal frustration. And I wonder if some of us feel the same way. Maybe we feel a tinge of guilt because we like doing something. I'm not talking about sin, obviously. I'm not talking about compromise, but there's a lot that happens in life that's fun, that brings us happiness. So what do we do with those things? I've come to the simple conclusion that I don't have to cut out football in order to love Jesus well. Certainly all of us, if we're not careful, can fashion idols out of the things that we enjoy, our hobbies or entertainment. Honestly, the biggest idol most of us have is the idol of self. That's a whole nother video for another day. But I came to the realization that when I'm a kingdom person, everything that I engage with is spiritual. Everything I do has a sacred element to it. Not because that thing is spiritual or sacred, but because I am. And so I began to perceive the whole world around me and every activity differently. For instance, I've mentioned football, I mentioned Peyton Manning in the Hall of Fame. Some of my closest Christian brothers, it was sports that began the bond between us. It was something that was leveraged to create camaraderie and friendship. Whatever it is that you enjoy, it's not as much about trying to eliminate all of that so that you can have more of Christ. It's about understanding that the Spirit of the Lord is in you in that. And so if you're sitting in a tree stand hunting, or if you're going through a clothes rack at Goodwill, or whatever it is that you like, the Lord is with you in that. And that in and of itself, that thing is not a deterrent to your faith unless you do the categorizing thing, where you say, here's my spiritual life and here's my non-spiritual life. Hey, your whole life is spiritual. Your whole life is spirit-filled. So enjoy, laugh, smile, delight in the experiences that are around you. God's in them with you. Just be sure to remember that.